Welcome to the Lava channel. Thank you for joining me for Java. This is Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. Pardon the ambient noise. I am on a flight and thought this was important to get this out to you. There are quite a few things that have been going on, especially if you are in the markets trading today. So as you can see at the moment I'm doing this, the favorite risk indicator, the MMRI, is above the 314 level. We're in extremes. If you were in yesterday or saw what happened with the debt market, the 10-year yield was making kind of wild moves, and it's really showing the instability that is underlying. Uh, Pardon that noise there. At any rate, I want to go through this as soon as possible. We got quite a few things going on. The markets are showing green. Did exactly as we thought it would yesterday. It had that breakout rally. Right now they are showing kind of positive, but we're watching for a pullback. The S&P 500, the SPY, has, it appears as if it has put in a lower high. So we'll be watching that. Inflation is still high in the broader market. We'll be watching for chop in both the dollar relative strength index as well as the 10-year yield. Uh, we'll be watching for some catalysts today, watching the Bank of Japan because they've been making some moves as well as a couple of other things that I'll go over with you in a bit. So generally watching the market on open and 10 a.m. will be the most volatile time periods. We've got Microsoft there laying off about 668 people. This is generally bullish for the stocks as it's shown that they are cutting their costs and continuing in. We've also got Joanne Fabrics probably filing bankruptcy, and they're just the beginning of a tidal wave of corporate bankruptcies that we are expecting. We have seen Bank of America and Goldman Sachs are putting in their earnings, and they look to be positive on the higher rates as they are making the spread on the yields. Bank of America, in particular, is holding quite a few bonds, and that is not good for their overall balances. So, as of this moment, we are looking at a rate freeze is the most likely action, is what people think the Fed will do. I think they're still going to continue with one more hike this year. So, in the retail and trade area, we had Russia suspended the seafood imports yesterday, and today we're watching some action from the Bank of Japan. So keep an eye on that. And as of now, it's very close. So this is in accordance with Putin. I have not had the opportunity to look up the exact numbers, but they were close before that the BRICS economies are now larger than the G7 combined. So that is of interest. We've also got oil, a lot of stories with oil and energy. So oil is steady as investors are monitoring the Israel-Hamas war. And we're talking to about sanctions with Venezuela, but basically lightening those up. Why? Because the US needs oil. So even though we are not as bad off as some would think, we do need to refill the reserves. So those prime reserves low. We're going to be looking for sources that we can get that oil from, and Venezuela would be a very good area for that. So also in the energy oil sector, we've had the Indian oil refiners. Now, they are the largest purchaser from Russia. And what they're doing is repackaging through their refiners and then selling through to the European Union since they are sanctioned. But what is happening is when they are trying to purchase, since the petrodollar is no longer in use, they are having to convert their currencies. And when they do, they are losing approximately 2 to 3% because they have to convert. One of the steps is to Hong Kong dollars. So they're talking about possibly using dirhams from the UAE, but Russia really wants them to purchase in yuan. So that is a large indicator of the currencies that are coming out to date and the ones that will be strong going forward. So keep an eye on the yuan as well as the dirham. So I've got a couple of lava updates for you. One, no shock. The Israeli flags burning across Germany. Not a good sign. And U.S. Secretary Janet Yellen says that we can afford two wars. Apparently, she's a general now, so we'll just start calling her General Janet. And also, she says that those Chinese magic mushrooms had no impact. I think that remains to be seen. So we've also got this story that I've been talking about for some time, and that the US government has usurped $5 billion worth of Bitcoin. They've held this asset for a long time, saying they're not. Uh, they've managed to acquire it through multiple resources, touting it as the venue for thieves, and I guess that could be appropriate on criminals. So, with that, I'm going to wish you all a green trading day. I'm going to urge caution on a day like today. There will be some, could be some incredible moves. So, please be careful out there with those trades. Wishing you a green day, wonderful day in general. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.